Welcome to the KFiles. Today we are investigating Revelations. Welcome back to the lush basement office. Yes, so lush, so lush. I'm your host, Katie.
And I'm your co-host, Grisalia, and we're coming at you from HollywoodRedux.com.
Yes, you're wearing the coolest shirt today.
I am, dude. Check this out.
Yep.
I do believe.
Chris, you're drinking the Kool-Aid, huh?
I am. You know, it's like, I'm convinced, Katie.
Yep.
I'm convinced.
We're talking about Revelations today with that. It's the 11th episode of the third season. It's a first kind of religious episode, which is a handful of episodes fall under this heading.
Well, it's not only a religious episode, but it's an episode where we actually see a role reversal, kind of, where Mulder is a skeptic and Scully's a believer. So,
yes,
which we don't get as often, I feel, on the XFiles.
No, it's rare. It's nice. It's a refreshing.
It's a nice little change.
I think Duchovny called it a refreshing change of pace once upon a time when I asked about it.
Duchovny on the same page then.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, variety is the spice of life. So it's nice to see new flavors from these characters. We're, midway through the third season, so we've gone on many adventures with them, and this is like a really cool new adventure. These religious type episodes. They give Gillian Anderson a chance to play this really wonderful aspect of the Scully character, which is her religious faith. It's really about faith. When she was abducted and her mom had a gravestone made for her, it said the spirit is the truth. The spirit is the truth, and that for me sums up the character of Scully every single time. You know, is the real truth is this mysterious thing. So it's Revelations is a cool episode. It's the first of its kind. It's also Orison is another good one like this. There are a handful of them throughout the series, it stars little Kevin Zegers.
Little Kevin Seeger! Pre-Airbud, you guys.
Of Airbud fame.
Little baby. I lost my shit when I saw it.
Yeah, well, those movies were pretty cool when they came out. A golden retriever
Dude,
playing
XFiles,
various sports.
XFiles has, like, all the cool cast.
All the cool Canadians.
All the cool Canadians,
yep,
man. Like,
that's the beauty of filming in Vancouver is
and
you
we're
get
only
access
on
to these
season
great
3,
actors.
so that tells you something.
Yeah, it's a hallmark of the series, actually, is that they cast really amazingly, especially when they were in the Vancouver seasons, before they moved to LA in the 6th season. This episode really showcases the guest star, little Kevin, who's a great little child actor.
Dude, that dude can act. Like, I'm very sad not to see him in much stuff nowadays, but as a kid's actor...
Well, you have to wonder. I mean, he was obviously like a natural, and then he went on to star in those movies with the dog, and who knows?
But I took the role.
No, but he's great in this, and he plays really well with Gillian Anderson. They have a nice rapport.
Really good chemistry.
Yeah, when he like looks in her eyes and says, "Are you here to protect me?" It's like a really beautiful little moment, and and for Scully, it's like a really jolt to her system because it seems to me the first time she's ever been responsible for another human life, which is interesting because she's a medical doctor. But it's like a different kind of thing. And that's like one thing that defines Scully as a character throughout the show is she becomes this like mother figure. Even in her own life she has a child, but like as, mythology, she's like this mother character.
I feel like she's kind of put to the test because it's like, yes, I do agree that she has that motherly instinct happening, but also at the same time, she's doubting her faith and like all these things that are happening. So like, it's a lot to handle.
Yeah, she doubts her faith because Mulder doubts her.
Yes,
and that's the sad truth.
It is a sad truth, but it's also like, again, a refreshing thing to see on screen because we always see.
That's what she does to him.
Yeah,
that's
all
his
the time.
Faith is
so
the
like,
supernatural. It's a different invisible world.
She was very hurt by it that he was not as supportive as.
That he wouldn't see eye to eye with her. She's like, I follow you on all these cracked out adventures chasing UFOs, and you can't just go to church with me? Like, no. It's reductive. But
it was very awesome to see, like, how she was really hurt by it. Like, oh, right,
yeah. Like, well, the ultimate thing, though, that happened in the story is that she doubted herself because Mulder doubted her, but ultimately she could not choose any other way. She became the part of the story that she was supposed to, the protector of the spirit. The spirit is the truth, the protector of the truth. That's her role in the show. Boom. A to B to C, Q E D. The end.
That's done. Wrap it up. Let's go.
There were some scary villains in this, as in true X-Files fashion. Gates, the character of Gates, that was a Twin Peaks actor, actually. He was on Twin Peaks.
That's
which
right.
This episode was very Twin Peaksy to me.
There's a lot of that happening as well in X-Files.
Yeah, well, it was directed by David Nutter, who is a very prolific TV director, and this was actually his last episode of the show that he directed.
Really?
Yeah, he went on to do some other great things, but in the show, I think this is probably one of his best showings of what he does, which is create, like, really awesome spaces. Like, these characters feel really close to each other. Like, you feel they're in each other's space very much, and especially in those little moments in the beginning where they're investigating. He just feels like he's really in her space.
This episode, I think, had to be very difficult to write out and deliver, just because you don't want to make it too much about religion, and you don't want to make it too much about anything else. Like, you want to make it about faith and what it is and belief. And I think this was very well delivered, first of all, but I would like to know the process of how many drafts did you have to go through to finally get that idea through, and deliver it well without offending anyone or starting anything.
Yeah, I do think I remember that it was fraught with script problems, and that the producers were very concerned about setting the right tone, and, as you say, like, not hitting anyone over the head with some religious thing, but trying to really tell an X-File that happens to be about this invisible world. So, but I think they really achieve it. I mean, David Nutter is obviously a master, and I think that he and Kim Newton does a nice job on the script. She only writes a few episodes over the course of the whole series, but they're memorable. This is a memorable episode, for me anyway, for a number of reasons. I started to talk about the villains. Gates is a very scary villain with those wide eyes, all-seeing eyes. And then actually, interestingly enough, I find the character of Owen Jarvis to be... even though he didn't play a villain, he acted in the right. He was trying to protect Kevin. He still, to me, is very scary.
His approach was very scary.
It comes on so
very
intense.
Creepy,
You're like,
even though he means very well, obviously. But...
Yeah, it was. I empathized with Kevin, and so for that, I was, like, oh God, who is this guy? Yeah, and he looks very intimidating too. That doesn't help. But he is an incorruptible, I should say. Scully calls him that, and that's like a really cool figure in that religious mythology.
Yeah, his body wasn't like decaying whatsoever. It was still very preserved. And
see also the Golem in Kaddish, 4th season episode. Like, that's another kind of monster like that. There we have a burning man. We have a man who's burned. That's a common X-Files character popping up archetype.
Mm-hmm.
The Gates burns with his hands. So see also, we did Miracle Man not too long ago. That's really great. Burn Man. It's a terrifying monster.
I have a question. Did they explain Kevin's double, or his power of being into places at once?
Well, he's a saint. He's imbued with these special abilities, and one of them is being able to send your spirit, your astral project, I guess you would call it.
I feel like they didn't give much explanation, though, on, like, that part of his power. They just threw it in there. Because at one point in the story, I thought he actually had a twin, and no one knew about it. I'm like, there's a kid that looks exactly like him. No one's going to question it. All right, let's roll with it.
Evil twins, the Calusari. Check that one out.
Yeah.
So many cross-reference points. That's why I love the X-Files. You can just file it. Anyway, but that's cool.
Would this be considered a Monster of the Week episode?
Yeah, this is a Monster of the Week episode. It is, I would say, very much a Scully episode. And the journey that she goes on is really cool, where she has to question her faith, not in religion, but in herself.
Yeah, she goes to confession. Like, when was the last time she went to confession? Like, according to the story, like 6 years ago or whatever?
Yeah.
Right?
But you get the sense that Mulder feels kind of badly about the whole thing. Like, maybe he senses that she's, going through some stuff. And it seems to me he's a lot nicer to her at the end of the episode.
Yes.
And he kind of is, like, trying to be nicer. Because she was right. She was right to, all along, to protect Kevin, to, what was happening. Really, the story tells us she was right. And Mulder was not seeing it, as is often reversed.
But I would hope she realized that she does the same thing to Mulder.
I think
hope this was like a, hey... wake up call.
I think more Mulder learned that he needs to be more open and at the very least not discount Scully. I think that's what he learns. I think he learns, whatever I think about anything, I must trust Scully because she is, the spirit is the truth. She's the protector of the truth. And he sees that over and over and over again. She doesn't choose in her own interest, ever. She chooses, I mean, maybe once in a blue moon, but it's really a necessity sometimes.
It's actually a really good episode. Again, I wish we could see more of Scully being the believer and Mulder being the skeptic.
Oh, there are
so
many
I hope there's
more.
more.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you know, and we haven't even gotten to later in the show, the real crazy twist is that when Duchovny leaves, Scully takes over as the real Mulder of the show.
She has to do
She's
both,
the
right?
proponent of the weird stuff all the time. She's trying to read the invisible lines.
I want that. That's what I'm excited for.
It is fun. You miss Duchovny more than anything else, but it does, give Gillian Anderson the full spotlight, which, God bless her, she really deserves it, I think. Just give it to her. But, you miss Duchovny anyway, because the story's about the two of them.
Yes.
And so if you want to get MSRE, which I typically do, we see them, as I think I said earlier, in their physical spaces, like they're closer, they're very chummy in the beginning, and then this drives a wedge in between them, and then they're very far apart. David Nunner does a really nice job of choreographing things, like I said, to where you feel the space of their emotions. You feel that, she's hurt, that he won't see when she regularly sees, for his stuff. I think they come to a new harmony, and you see that she says no to him at the end very kindly, but she, has to do her own thing. Just like a lady ought to do. Alright, so that's Revelations. I think we've shined the flashlight into many dark corners. We're coming to you from HollywoodRedux.com. Please subscribe below if you liked what we did here. I should say, I'm Katie, I'm your host. You can find me at KMoles on social media.
And I'm Crisalia, and I'm your co-host on this show, obviously. I totally messed up. But whatever. And you can find me on all social medias. Guys, please check us out. Look at our podcast. Look at our shorts. We have so much content for you.
Yep.
Give us a look. Just give us a look.
We have
you will be entertained.
Lots of fun stuff.
Subscribe. Like, comment, talk to us,
Yep.
Reach out. We'll reach back.
Yeah, we're very interactive. We like talking to you most of the time. Goodbye.
Good time.